Grant tells him to pick a place and he'll meet him there. And that's how we wind up in this house. He will send word back to Lee. Lee will show up at 1 o'clock. Grant is going to show up at 1:30. He's going to come in from that direction. He will come right down the road here. And so they will chat for about 20 minutes. There's introductions of the officers and so forth. One of the probably the more interesting ones is when General Lee meets Colonel Parker. Parker's a full-blooded Seneca Indian from upstate New York, and he's in the Army. And when they're introduced, Lee will say to Parker, "It's nice to see one real American here today." And Parker will respond, "General, today we're all Americans." So it's part of that, the healing process that starts here. And so after about 20 minutes of that, Lee will ask Grant for his terms. And Grant will sit down at the little table. Lee is sitting at the marble top table, the bigger table. And in pencil, Grant will write out the terms. Basically what it boils down to is everybody that surrenders within a 20-mile radius of that courthouse is going to be paroled until properly exchanged. They're not going to a prisoner of war camp. The officers are allowed to keep their sidearms, which is their pistols and their sabers, their horses and their personal belongings. There are going to be 28,231 Confederates who surrendered here. What Grant is also going to do is he's going to send word to all the Union armies in the field that these parole passes not only keep the person from being recaptured, they can use it as a ticket on Union trains and Union steamships, and they can also use it as a meal ticket to obtain rations from Union sources on their way home. So Grant's doing everything possible he can to get these gentlemen home as fast as possible so they can return their lives to normal, and that's why he's willing to grant the horses and so forth. Lee is basically thrilled with the terms. He said this will go a long way towards reconciliation, and he agrees to the terms. It's 3 o'clock, we're done. In an hour and a half, they will bring this war basically to a conclusion.
That's
There'll
fascinating.
be no major engagements fought after this. Lincoln will meet with Grant and Sherman and Admiral Porter back in the Petersburg area. And Lincoln will say, "I don't care how this war ends. I want it over. I don't want these people humiliated. I want them welcomed back into the Union." Even when the word gets out to the surrounding troops that Lee has surrendered, they start celebrating. And Grant will put an end to the celebrations because these people are not to be humiliated.
On April 10th, the cavalry surrendered. On April 11th, the artillery surrendered. The infantry finally surrenders on April 12th. And they have what's called a stacking of arms.
The Union Army is going to line this road from down near the Pierce House all the way to about that curve in the road there. But when the first group comes up, when General Gordon, commander of the 2nd Corps of the Army of Northern Virginia, approaches, Chamberlain's going to have his men go to carry arms. That's a salute. That's a military salute. And when Gordon realizes that his men are being saluted, he's mounted on horseback. He will wheel to face Chamberlain and return the salute with his saber, and then he will have his men go to carry arms. And so you have both armies honoring each other.
Fascinating view, really.
Yes, basically. And that's part of the healing process that starts here.